All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what's up, man?
Ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen.
this is the Ecom Boys podcast. You're welcome once again. This is another episode, and my name still remains Kingsley Oba, aka CY, aka the richest. Shit, that's what's up, man. And this is my own brother, my Ecom brother, Mr.
Ogbe. According to Victor, my friend, they call me Ogbe.
Mr. Muff Ogbe. You know, when I hear Murphy, it reminds me of Matrix.
Yeah.
Morpheus.
They said you're the one.
He
so-
said you are the one.
So,
So, you're welcome to the Ecom podcast, Ecom Boys podcast, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, I was talking to someone and it was like, so why Ecom Boys? Why not say something? I'm like, I'm from Ecom. My brother is from Ecom. My partner is from Ecom, and what more? What else do you want to call the podcast? So it makes it simple. Keep it simple. Ecom Boys
Exactly.
podcast. So and we are here once again, you know, to bring some information and some laughter and also some crazy talk at some point to you. And please feel free to subscribe, share, like and do all you can to make sure we get the message out there. And also, if you want to sponsor, please feel free to reach out. The emails are on the screen. Just check
It's
the
right
email.
there. Right there.
Y'all check them there. Make we for make this thing work for
Yep.
sponsorship, or you want to advertise
Advertise,
your product,
exactly. Yeah.
whatever you have.
Yeah.
Bring it on, bring it on, bring it on,
Well, here.
and we'll
Wow,
talk
here.
about it. So,
Mm.
and how's your week been, bro?
Actually, very, very exciting if you ask me, because I'm on the buzz what I don't get from the last
Really?
pod. I'm like, I
Oh,
just see
wow.
people's reactions and all that. I'm like excited. I'm excited for the fact that people are engaging and saying their minds. There's some controversial comments you see and all that. I'm like, okay, at least we're engaging.
The trolls.
Yeah. I call them the engagement experts
Okay.
because they are doing their work.
According to somebody, say online in-laws
Eh,
and online advisors
they are
and
the whole- they are-
professors.
That's all they are right
Yep.
now, and it's okay because the truth is sometimes you don't even know you have a point till someone starts making a statement.
Mm.
So it's things like this that will make you start seeing that you can even think, you can even sit down and reason and like, oh wait, I never
Okay.
thought about it this way, and then you have an opinion, and it makes you go back to study, learn and have more facts on these things. So most people that come to say things after this kind of things, that people don't go back go study, say okay,
Mhm.
this might go see within another perspective of this thing, whether it be like this. Some people argue just because they want to argue, not because they have a point.
Yeah,
And
me, like I always say, I'm ready to drag anybody. If you drag with me, recently, I think I've been having this back and forth with this guy on Facebook. One of Kwabum guy. I don't want to give him energy. I don't want to call his name. I think he posted something about a particular pastor I listened to, and I just, I think I just said, hear him first or something like that. And this guy started coming at me as if, it'd be like say we get quarrel before, to the point, at some point, we're going back and forth, with knowledge, trying to, he was like, oh, you people that, it's like, you worship. I'm like, I'm not saying I worship this person. And then he think at some point I was like, you know what, this thing is not worth it. I was like, my brother, may the peace of God, I think something like that, may the peace of God be with you. And the guy said, you go and die with your peace or something like that. I'm like, oh Jesus.
more people are just violent in this
Okay.
world, though.
First of all, I'm a comedian,
Mhm.
and this is what I do for a living. I
Exactly.
roast. And I told him, I said, I'm about to roast you. You're behind. I'm going to roast you
Are you ready to stand this heat?
my brother. I went in, and then when I went in, and he was like, "Oh, you see, this is what I'm saying. This is what they teach you. This is." I'm like,
Oh, please.
listen. Michelle Obama said, "When they go high, we go low." I say, me, if you go low, I enter gutter with you.
Moses will go the tippers for this matter.
Nah, I don't do that. So if you drag me, I will drag you. I'm just putting it out there. If you come for me, I come for you. I'm not that I'm not nice on social media. You know, if you drag me, I'm good with my lips and my mouth, my voice, everything works. So feel free. It's a
Oh
buffet.
well, feel free with him. Please pity me. I don't get that kind of power
He's a
yet.
gentleman.
Uh,
As you know, I'm a comedian, an actor, a singer. I'm an entertainer.
mhm.
Moff, you've not really told us what you do. Someone was asking me if you're a cultist. No, seriously. Like, this is a way he tie do rag
Shit.
with beard.
Shea cut is now work. Is that what I do for a living? I don't
You
understand. How
know
is
that
that even a question?
maybe
Well, I mean, you never
you
know.
understand.
Does he pay? Let's even know. Let's how much did he
The
pay?
world we live in now, anything pays.
I beg, I know.
If
Thank
somebody
you.
can come and shout meat pie,
And it becomes a trend.
and everybody's
That thing taught me a lesson though. You don't know where your day will come. It can be anything. It can be
LOP,
from anything.
LOP.
But see, because it's a trend, it will come and go. Will you sustain it?
But you know the mistake people are making is the fact that they think that these things are actually okay. A friend of mine who's a comedian in Nigeria said something today on his Instagram page. He said comedy is not you just waking up or because you have a viral moment
Hmm.
and you guys start inviting this person or you start giving this person a platform to come and perform because the meat pie guy they've started inviting him to come and do stand up.
I don't understand. Is he a stand-up comedian?
Well, I mean, and even the guy said something because he's a comedian. His name is Phronesis. Shout out to my guy there, Phronesis. You know, he said comedy is in it. Like
Hmm.
it's if you don't have it, you
It's
don't have it.
inborn, literally.
That's why there's a difference between skit makers and comedians. But you know, they confuse this thing because, oh, the guy is funny with his maybe 30, 40 minutes video. And, you want to put him on stage to hold the mic and crack jokes. It doesn't work. So now the LUP guy, the same thing. They were inviting him to comedy shows now. I think they brought him to AY Live. I don't know. I might be wrong. Um, One other guy like that did some viral stuff. They invited him, they started inviting him to comedy shows. So,
Priorities. And well, for the people who invite them most of the times, they're using them to sell their platforms. While that light is shining on you, they kind of try to bounce it off themselves a bit and
more or
see.
less use you.
I was being careful not to use the word, but
Papa,
that's
why are we
actually
careful now?
that's why. Well, that's because that's what it is, because they just want to see, since you're in the spotlight now, if I can use you to gather followers, gather people, I mean, draw traffic to my page or something or my program.
Yeah.
I just do it. That's what most of them just do. But unfortunately, you just become the scapegoat for the time, and then they cry Hosanna, and the next minute they're saying crucify him.
And guess what? It makes it worse for the person because I think I saw the video of the LUP guy. He was complaining, he was like, things are not happening on his side again. They are not inviting. I'm like, yo.
Did you even expect to be invited in the first place?
But guess what? Because they made him feel that he is now a comedian, in quote.
No, and even at that, even if you were a comedian, who are your audience?
And
That's another question. So first of all, it just happened that somehow what you did went viral, and then you were out there, and then all of a sudden you're not. Have you trained yourself? Have you prepared yourself to be um armed for that level of,
so
anyway?
that's the problem. Even with, I'm sorry, this is no shade to skit makers. I respect them. I love working with them. I also work with them. Being a skit maker doesn't make you a stand-up comedian.
Hmm.
But you can evolve to being a stand-up comedian. That is, if you work at it, you start working at it. I think some of them are beginning to evolve. Like there's this American comedian who used to be one of the biggest skit makers, DC Young Fly.
Okay.
He used to be a skit maker. He was from skit making, and also Jess Hilarious. She used to be a skit maker, but today he's a stand-up and he's very good. Like he is good. DC Youngfly he's headlining shows now. Jess Hilarious, the same thing. As a matter of fact, she got a job on a one of the biggest radio station. You know, uh, you can evolve.
Mhm.
That's why it's in it. It's
Exactly.
something that you already have it. When you work it, it comes out. But not just this one that automatically you feel, oh, because I'm a skit maker, I can hold the microphone and start talking. It,
The spotlight burns if you must
uh,
understand. The spotlight
Mov
burns.
don't come. Mov has some philosophical
Yeah,
droppings.
but it's the truth. It burns. So if you're not prepared for it,
No,
the
explain that
same
spotlight bonds.
so the same thing that it makes you popular can actually dissipate you right before your same crowd.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's why there has to be sunscreen to help you survive the UV rays
Woo!
of
The
popularity.
sunscreen is more or less training
Exactly.
and prepping,
Preparation.
learning the
Preparation.
ropes
Preparation.
exactly. So
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mov, make you they try dodge what they do. Let
Can
them
you
know.
imagine? We're still back on this.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're back on it.
I'm basically a visual creator. So from graphics to animation to photography to
Okay.
videos to cooking to singing to
Oh,
I'm an artist through and through.
you cook. So cooking
Yeah, like
is involved in visual.
you not seeing the food. The Bible say taste and see.
Good. Woo, we say taste and see. Hey, wait. Hey,
You
wait.
taste then you see.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I'm a creative. That's basically all I can say about myself.
Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, because someone was like, what does Muff do? He looks good with the beard, I'm trying to groom my own. It's not coming.
Yeah,
And
give it time.
with
Give it
his durag, my brother, I've tried it so much. I've tried. I've listen. At this point in time,
There's no
I
hope.
leave it to my son. Maybe
I know
you have,
Zion.
you know.
Exactly. We'll pray for you. We'll start praying now.
Oh my God.
So what are we talking about today?
Okay, today is something I saw online, and I was like, I think we should talk about this. Mind you, it's the Comboys podcast. We just come here just about things. If it
Just
makes
have fun.
sense,
Just have
fine.
fun.
If it doesn't make sense,
Mhm.
fine. We we are not here to make sense for you. But if it makes sense for you,
Well, thank God for you.
exactly, and you make sense out of it. Anyway, it's this thing called dignity in labor. Is it dignity of labor?
You need to in labor.
In labor.
Mhm.
Okay, fantastic. I saw something online today that I was like, this is actually a problem. But I also want to hear, what you have to say about it because I saw it was this guy, very dark man. Shout out to that guy. Love him.
Mm.
Not love him. I mean, I like him.
Mm.
Like what he does. Because love, it takes a lot to love people. So I saw a video he posted on his Instagram page about a girl who took an Uber ride in Nigeria, and she was trying to job shame the Uber driver because the Uber driver kind of looked like very dark man,
Okay.
which wasn't very dark man, but he looked like very dark man. And the girl was like, come and see I think the girl is an Ibadan girl. Come and see hey, very dark man. Very dark man is doing Uber. He's doing Uber. Wow, he don't have to. So, and then I looked at the video. I mean, he talked about it, he addressed it, and was like, "Oh, this is why, a lot of guys don't they they don't want to do this kind of jobs
Mm.
because not because there's no
Mhm.
money there, but because we have kind of relegated it and looked down on it, which is something that affects our society a lot. The Nigerian society, a lot of people don't want to take up certain jobs,
Mhm.
even when we come to countries like America.
Mhm.
Because when you come here, once you move here, the first thing you won't start working in tech companies, banks, and all those
True.
places. You start doing some
Mhm.
jobs, which is there's nothing really wrong with it.
Mhm.
But when you meet our people, I'm talking about Nigerians, when you meet them and ask them, what do they do now? Yeah, I just a hustle, or some of them lie. They do IT. It's very easy to say I do IT.
Of course.
You know,
Who they repay from they do it too now. So
I didn't hear that thing for Nigeria.
so now you see what you just did now. You actually just belittled the guy who repairs the phone.
Oh, come on.
Exactly.
See, how
So
could
you
do
fell for
that?
your own you fell
Oh,
for your own trap.
jeez, jeez.
Exactly. You see, so
My bad, my bad.
Yeah. You see, so that's exactly it.
Hmm.
So unconsciously to us, we rate what we feel is important
Okay.
based on who. That's the power of branding.
Hmm.
Based on the person who has made his own occupation look important, we have decided to fall for the scam of the loudest is the best.
Hmm.
So if you're not a professional, and what, by the way, what's a professional?
Hmm.
That means you can defend what you do. You profess it professional.
Hmm.
So
Profess
exactly.
what you do.
Yes.
So that's a.
You can
Oh,
defend
that's
it.
the word professional.
I'm coining that out from
Mhm.
it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So if you professional professor,
Professor. Okay.
so if I can defend what I do, I'm a professional at it.
Hmm.
That means I know it, I know the ins and outs of it. I can break it down, it's simple for me.
Okay.
A nail tech is a professional.
Hmm.
The guy that braids hair or the lady that braids hair is a professional.
Okay.
Now, she knows the skills. She understands it well enough for it to be a service that you can demand from her or him, depending on what the case is.
Okay.
So if I'm solving a problem that you can't solve for you, I am a professional in that space where you are handicapped.
Okay.
So if the guy, like I just talked about the phone tech guy being an IT guy, he actually is an IT guy. The difference is that he probably has not branded himself enough to look as important as the other professions we see as important.
So do you think it's the problem of the person doing the job or the people who are actually, kind of for lack of words, mocking who is doing the job?
So it's I think it's two ways, because some of the people doing the job actually have started belittling the work for themselves because they think there's something they could have been doing that is better than what they're already doing.
Hmm.
Exactly. So people hear me talk sometimes and they're like, you sound like you'd have made a good lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a videographer. So if you look down on me because you thought that videography is not as important as law or a legal practice, you're making a mistake. Because even the legal practitioner needs my service to push what they do outside there. So I'm solving a problem.
Yep.
So
True.
it's not the job that makes you important. You are the one that carries the value. So when you don't have confidence and a true value of who you are or a true value of self-worth, then you're likely going to. So it's not even the job. The job is not the problem. It's you.
So, now another question I want to ask, like an Uber driver.
Mhm.
I say Uber driving, Lyft driver in Nigeria, Bolt,
Mhm.
and so many other countries have their own. Is that a professional?
Yes, he's solving a problem.
Okay.
They're solving a problem.
Mind you, the house I'm living in now in America,
Mhm.
it's Uber or Lyft money that
Yes.
bought it.
Exactly. This guy literally wakes up 4 a.m. every day and does his whole runnings for the day till
Till
what time?
12.
Till 12
And
before he starts living a normal life like the rest of us. And it's solving your problem.
Yes.
It's picking up your bills.
and,
It's
I-
meeting
and, I-
basic needs.
and I'm not ashamed to say this. I tell people, I mean, I say it. I drive Lyft. People are like, a lot of people try to hide those
Mhm.
things. They don't want. Okay, let me give you a typical example. There's this guy I know from a particular church. I'm not going to mention his name. I mean, we were talking, and I think we were talking, and I was like, "Oh, what do you do?" And he said he does IT.
Mhm.
Me, I just okay, well, IT, oh, school, cool. Then one of the days I was driving, I want to drop someone at the airport. My brother,
Lo and behold.
lo and behold, here's my guy dropping off somebody. And you know where I knew that this guy had a problem. The guy, when he was dropping, he was looking, when
Ah.
he's looking around to see that nobody's seeing him. I'm like, and I was in my car looking just like, I see you, but you don't see me. I see
Oh
you.
my God. So first of all, do you know what it takes to have eye-hand coordination behind the steering?
Mm.
Do you know what it takes for you to go through a driving test
Mm-hmm.
and then you're handed over a license
Mm-hmm.
to say you can handle a machine
Mm.
safely
Exactly.
to help both your safety and the safety of the people on the road
Mm-hmm.
and other people who cannot handle the same machine? So the fact that you're licensed, so you're a professional driver.
Yeah.
So that means whatever you do with that license and do it well is honorable.
And you have to go through a background check for
Oh,
the
yeah.
platform to accept you.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So first of all, that means you're not a criminal. So if you're doing Lyft, that means you're good.
Yeah.
So you're not seeing it as and do you know the funny part? I don't know why people still make that mistake. Do you know back home in Ecom, most of the boys who have the most money didn't go to school. The money that boys are making from cocoa farms now in Ecom, see why? I wish I started cocoa farm early. In fact, I wish I left everything. I didn't even go to school to do cocoa farm.
Coffee, because everybody's drinking coffee.
If you know how much they make, so a bag of a bag. The last time I checked, a bag of cocoa is about 780,000 or so for a bag. Yes, and people produce as much as 50 bags, 60 bags.
Wow.
Yes, they've never been to school. In fact, some of the people that own these cocoa farms don't even, they give it off as uh they give people to help them cultivate. Then they pay them for it, and then they just harvest and give off to people. Most of the biggest boys in Ecom right now, as I speak to you, are drivers who drive Calabar Ecom, Calabar Ogoja. They have houses, they have businesses and other things from the money they make on the road every day. And doctors, people who have graduated and gone to school and finished, don't make half of the money they make in a week.
Simple.
So who
I
are
agree.
you to
I mean, I agree.
and the truth is, not all of us can go to school. Not all of us get school head.
Yeah.
We just have to understand it. Some of us are not patient enough to sit down in class and even hear what somebody's saying. But you give us numbers, we can calculate it and
Yeah.
put together. And
Look at these boys in Alaba. Look at these boys, and you know that is I think their business model
Mhm.
is one of the best in the world.
Mhm.
I think they did a documentary on
Exactly.
that. The Igbo what do you, apprenticeship. Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to Daryl, my guy. He's the executive producer of that. You know,
Okay.
on Showmax in Nigeria. Anyway, and you can go check it out. I went because these guys don't speak English, your kind of English.
Mhm.
You know, they are not as fluent as you are, but they end up. I mean, Cosmos Maduka,
Mhm.
the CEO
Coscharis.
Coscharis, the
Mhm.
owner of Coscharis.
Mhm.
That was where he came from.
That system is so powerful that the amount of billionaires it has produced, people that have gone to business schools and reached professorial levels, don't even know how to have that
Yeah,
amount, that level of success.
like they don't. These are people. Even Harvard. These guys practically start with. I know of a guy. Okay. The reason why I want to tell you this story is because it is one of the stories that I use in. I tell people, and I'm going to tell my kids. This guy was he used to serve his, I don't want to say master.
It's master, please.
Okay.
That's what we use in our Igbo terms. It's master.
Meanwhile, this man speaks Igbo fluently. He speaks how many languages? You know, me, I just hear the struggle with Efik, Ibibio, and English. Anyways, the guy was serving his master where it was close to where I used to live. They sell clothes like Okrika and all that. You know, Okrika just means thrift store. No, not Okrika. It was a nice boutique. Yeah, they sell boutique. The man goes to China to buy. So every time I go there, the guy knows how to hustle me to buy. The guy will like, chairman, you know, the guy has sweet mouth. So I liked going to his place. You know, I like going to his
Yeah.
place. So every time I go there, the guy. Then one day, I went there. I didn't see him again. I was like, oh, maybe. Then I had moved out of the neighborhood environment, went to some other place, And then one day he called me. He said, he's he's back in the east.
Mm.
That his boss accused him of stealing money. His master
Mm.
accused him of stealing money, and that the man didn't settle him, and that he's back and he's just here doing nothing. That he wants to come back. That he had um, gone to do like menial jobs
Mm-hmm.
to raise, I think, like 30,000 naira. That he wants to come back to Lagos if he can just stay with me
Mm.
till he gets his feet.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm like, okay, come. And the guy came and he started staying with me. This guy took 30,000 naira, went to, there's this market after Lasso. It's called, not Katangwa. There's this market. So they sell like, we call it first grade okrika.
Mm.
Like, he will go there and pick those stuff, put it in his backpack, and then sell it to these Yahoo boys. And he knows how to market. He has sweet mouth. The guy was, and this guy started doing this thing. Before you know it, he said, bros, I won't move, come out. I won't go stay with one of my guy for I won't go stay with one of my guy. I beg. I was like, okay, no problem. He moved out, went to stay with one of his friends, and one day this guy called me up, not up to a year. This guy called me, say, bros, I want to show you something. I'm come to so place. I got to this place. This guy had gotten a store. He had gotten a store, small space. Was still
Stocked it
scanty
with.
with some jeans and all that. He said, bros, and I looked at this guy like this. Then years, I think that year, I think a year later,
Mm-hmm.
I went there. This place was full, loaded. As I speak to you, that guy has like how many stores now? He has built houses. He learns that trade.
Yes.
Yes, they didn't settle him, but the knowledge.
He had from just submitting to somebody and being around success. And there's one thing I like about my Igbo people. They are patient. They are not afraid of starting small. And that's another problem we have. Most of us always want to look like the end of a process.
Oh, yeah.
We want to look like the end of a process. So that guy will probably go out with you guys to drink and spend, if the total bill on that table is 50,000,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you say, he will not drink more than 5,000 because he knows that money that he would spend on that
Yep.
table can buy him 5 more shirts to add to his shop,
Exactly.
and those 5 more shirts can give him 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not in the mega profits, it's in the small profits that they calculate. You see, an Igbo man you can owe him 20,000 and he would hassle you till you pay him that money. And when you give him that 20,000, he will take you out that same time and spend 100,000 naira on drinks with you. And you're asking, so why did you hassle me for
20?
He will tell you that is my what's it called? That's my capital.
Oh.
So I will collect that capital from you. I will spend profit. Are you seeing the mindset? And to you, you're mad. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
so why
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
you? He said, no. So they know how to separate the money for eating
Mm-hmm.
and the money for investment.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how much you cry. You see that investment money, they're not touching it because there's a goal in mind.
I'm like, why are you? Yeah, so that's the problem I have with our people, because the reason why I'm talking about this is because I've seen this happen over and over and over again, where people just don't want to have dignity in what they do.
Yeah.
They just want to make it look like, oh, once you're a mechanic, you're a welder, you are a barber, or we just
And you know the bad part, sorry to cut you. We know where you are.
Yes. I know that this person doesn't have jack.
We know. It doesn't matter what you say. Even if we don't know where you live, even if we don't know, we just somehow humans are are that powerful to rate you without. Now they could be wrong sometimes,
Mhm.
but we get the energy of where you are and who you are. It's not what you say. We feel it.
Mm.
So even if you're trying to form that you are up there,
Mhm.
we didn't know if you did there or not. Because the funny part is, even when you're not saying it, if you're up there, we know.
Yep.
The ones that are up there most times don't even make the noise.
Exactly.
It's you that is down here that is trying to prove a point. And if you have to start proving a point to somebody, you've already failed.
And some people do certain kind of jobs not because they are suffering or there's nothing else to do. They
Mhm.
just want to do it. I have done different. I've worked in the corporate. I used to work as an AML analyst and KYC. I used for a bank, UBS, an investment bank.
Mhm.
So I've been in the corporate. So it's not because some people are just they are frustrated or they don't want to do what there's nothing else to do.
Mhm.
It's just that this is what I want to do for now, or this is what I love to do, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Talking about what you love to do, if you're like me that enjoys learning,
Hmm.
then by the time somebody sees me mixing concrete, they'll think I've fallen on tough times.
Yeah.
But I just enjoy the aggregates of concrete,
Hmm.
the ratio of cement
Cement to
to sand and I learn it. There's almost nothing I've not done. Oh.
Eh,
I think about
you don't
I don't plate
you don't
hair.
dig grave before.
I don't plate that and I'd not be normal. No worry. I don't plate hair. I've fixed hair.
Wow.
Yes, of course, you. I've done makeup professionally. I've done mason work. With the carry bag, with the carry feed from truck,
Hmm.
put for warehouse. I don't do that one. Carry cement from truck, put for warehouse. I don't do. And what else?
As you see, is
Yeah, what else? And I did it with joy. I left my house. I left my parents when I was 16. So after my dad retired, from my dad used to work with the UAC. He retired in Aba, and then we stayed in Aba for a very long time. And then when they now moved back to Icom, I couldn't see myself staying there.
yeah.
So I was like, what I want to go do for this place? Because I was already exposed to a certain kind of life.
Mm-hmm.
I was ready to start afresh and do whatever it took for me to just live the life I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
live. So when we got to Icom, took my parents back and all that, I ran away, went back to Aba. Yes, I lived in a room where we were. Shout out to Ndubisi, Nebo, and your brother. I don't know wherever. I'm still looking for you people in this life.
Wow.
It was literally a one room. They had their younger sister who had a baby, their cousin, a girl, two brothers, myself, and another friend. 6 of us lived in one room. Yes, in Mariogu, in Aba. For anybody who knows where that is and who knows me. When I left my parents, I went back to stay in that place. I was teaching in a primary school as an assistant teacher.
Mm.
And living in that place. So after work, I will go and carry this feed I'm telling you about now
Mm.
from trucks. And then sometimes there were buildings around the environment. I'll go and follow and mix concrete and all that to add to my salary. And then I was at least go bring food for house
Yeah,
now where they live.
exactly.
So the room was so small that we had to open the door so that some people can lie down so their legs can go outside. Yes.
Those things are not, when
Um,
we say these things and we say them as jokes, they're actually realities.
It was my reality. It was one bathroom, one toilet for a compound of over, I'm not exaggerating, at least 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 10 flats were in that.
And the flat has at least like five people inside.
Inside. It was a family compound. So yeah, so sometimes I had to wake up very early because you had to bath outside because maybe someone was in the bathroom. So you have to wake up earlier. So the place is dark, you shower, and then I'm just remembering this now. I'm like, okay.
It's bringing back.
Yeah.
If you want, feel free to cry if you want to cry.
And I'll walk. I don't even know the distance anymore, but I walk from there to school where I used to teach. I had to be in school by 7 a.m. And then sometimes if you're on duty, you have to control traffic. And long story short, I did all that because I knew where I was going. But the funny thing is, in doing all that, I learned things that have become life skills for me today. Not knowing what it was then.
Exactly.
I can live anywhere. See, I'm not even joking. all these big boy are doing in America now. If you want us to do big boy, we'll do big boy. No wala.
We
You want us to come shit and we
No.
do it happily.
Paul
and it
said,
takes
I
nothing.
know how to abase and I know how to abound.
Finish.
But that's how life is supposed
Exactly.
to be. But
Balance.
a lot of people don't want to abase. They want to abound and abound. I mean, you know, and that's why Nigerians, that's why some prayer points and some things we say, they are birthed out of greed. When once you tell people, say, you know, get money, God forbid, I will never lack. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with not having.
So the truth is, if you even check the what's this machine that reads heart rate, EKG or whatever it's called,
EKG, yeah.
you notice that when somebody's alive, the heart rate does this. It's not a straight line. If you have a straight line, you're dead. So the idea of life is ups and downs.
Oh, so he has come again.
It's just the truth.
Hey,
That machine tells you that I'm alive, I'm dead. I'm alive, I'm dead. I'm alive,
I'm alive.
You and this your son. Do you get what I'm saying? So whether you like it or not, in fact, it's in a simple concept of respiration, life, death. So for you to be alive, it's going to be ups and downs for it to be called balance.
You just talk this thing one wrong, come out for. Let this thing settle. Let people hear.
It's the truth.
Because
what life is actually inhaling and exhaling. That means life and death is what brings balance to what life
But we
is.
want to.
If it's a straight line, you're dead. It's called flatlining.
Even our pastors prayed, you will continue to go up in Jesus' name.
To even go up, sometimes you need to bend down. If you must jump, the first motion to jumping is going down.
Going
first.
down. You will never go down. I'm like, well, there's nothing wrong with going down, because sometimes you go down to actually help you, to humble you,
Yes.
and understand that, you know, it's because once, if you keep going up, at some point you will, like I think in space. That's why I was listening to someone. He said, in space, when you go to get to a certain point, that's why the spaceship, once it gets to a certain, it has to stay there.
Yes.
It can't go beyond. Because if you keep going,
the way you define it,
yeah, it explodes or something happens.
Exactly. The pressure of going that high.
Exactly.
Because you have to learn how to survive this next level. And it takes you being down here to know what this next level feels like. Let me bring it back to church. What makes Jesus have the name above every other name and makes him the high priest, the perfect high priest, is because he came from up, came down, and went up again. So this motion gives him the rights to be qualified.
Oh God!
As a perfect high priest. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
That.
So in life, whether you like it or not, it's not by choice. It is life being life.
Yes.
And the truth is, most of the things you need to learn are not up here. They are down here. So if life has to bring you down to learn it so that you can survive here, it's okay. What's his name? Joseph in the Bible.
Exactly.
He would never have understood how to handle a palace if he did not understand the prison.
He will learn, and he will learn.
It's hard. He will learn the hard way. Do you know what I'm saying? Because now, all of a sudden, it was a dream he had. But when he learned from the prison, he became an administrator. Dreaming ended.
Oh God.
So he wasn't dreaming his way through administration.
I hear you.
But the dreaming is what brought him into administration. So sometimes you need to start from here. Because if we can't tell your story, we can't believe you. You're not believable.
Exactly. That's why they still question. I mean, I don't know, but some people still question TB Joshua till tomorrow. Some people, I'm just saying, I don't know, allegedly, they like, we don't know where he started from. Although me, I'm still asking the question, but maybe somebody knows. If you know out there, let us know. Because people need to know where you started from so that they can actually, be able to vet where you are.
Exactly. In fact, there's something I put up on my Instagram. I say, why God keeps you in the presence of your enemies is that he needs you to have witnesses in success. Because most of the people who you call enemies are people who were there when you were nothing, expecting you would always be there. So when you grow, they become your first testifiers. Like, we knew he was here, but now he is here. Now they try to kill you, they try to stop you, they try to do everything, but
Mhm.
they have to sometimes pray for your enemies to be alive.
Yes, so we pray for them to
Because
be alive.
they are the ones that will be your major testifiers. Because they were there when they thought they knew you were down.
Mm.
So when you get here, they'll be the ones to start. So you start hearing things like, I ain't don't go do blood money. I ain't don't join Yahoo. I ain't don't join bad gang. I'm making get money. Because somehow they can't believe that you are here now because they already knew where you're coming from.
Mhm.
So process is good. Don't be afraid to. And you won't always be here. Pray to learn. How did I put it the other time? But let me just say it simply. Learn to be one with the ground when you fall.
Mhm. Mm.
Because when you start flying, you will know where to land.
Oh God. See, I don't know. He's the income boy now.
It's the truth. Because if you don't understand how the ground works, you will not know how you will land and you will crash.
Yep.
Because somehow the people will sustain you when they up there, they down here. But if you cannot speak the language of the street, the palace will hard you.
Exactly. In other words, what we are just, we've been talking about dignity in labor.
In labor.
Because the truth is, we need to understand these things because these are just lessons, life lessons that will help us. And when somebody says, if you're doing something, please come out and say, this is what I do. Be very confident. Even Nashawo, so that no, so that we can
I bind you
know
in
how
Jesus'
to
name.
help you.
I bind you in Jesus' name. Well, you see, sometimes when you go to see a therapist, your best bet of success is being totally honest.
Honest.
That's your best bet.
That is my point. I wasn't trying to sell,
Yeah,
a shower here. But I'm just saying, just be honest. That's the only way you can be helped. Because
oh, that's actually true. Because sometimes you go and put yourself in a position where your helpers think you don't need help anymore. And it's funny, we hear this every day, but it's the truth. Because you don't follow me, they wear Balenciaga. So why am I going to dash you a Balenciaga shirt?
another story told by who told this story? I don't know, I can't remember. But I heard this story. They said this guy, he used to make outfits for this man. The guy lives in Abuja. So, and what the guy does is the guy, the tailor guy has his measurements. So he, just makes clothes, sends to the man, and the man pays him. And the guy was making a lot of money from this man. And one day the man visited Lagos and went to a co-hotel. This guy, the tailor guy, bought a Mercedes Benz. I think was in one of these nice Mercedes Benz. So he wanted to go and show the man that chairman, see, see waiting your money don't do for me and all that. And they said the man came down, was like, okay. He said, chairman, COC, now the car be this. And the man was like, oh, really nice. This is good. This is good. And guess what? That was the last time the man called him to make outfits.
Reasons being?
Because the man is like, okay, you want to level up. You understand? I mean, which I think wasn't even fair. But what the
yeah, because I was gonna say, well,
the lesson
it's
there,
tricky, man.
Yeah, it's tricky. Now the lesson is you don't have to show off.
True.
I think for me, the lesson, not because the man was a wicked person or wanted to harm him, it's just the fact that sometimes just,
don't show off where you need help.
Exactly.
Don't show off where you need help. There's some places you get to and you just be nothing. Like literally,
even if you have,
like literally be nothing.
even if you have more than the person.
Do you understand? And do you even know who you have more than? That's the question.
But these days, you hear, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?
I am so careful. I learned that a very long time ago. You don't know everybody, so you can't assume what anybody is. I have been humbled and belittled so many times in my life where I assumed I knew or I thought I knew who somebody was.
Yeah.
And then when I found out who they were, I felt so stupid. It happened to me a couple of times, and I had to tell myself, you know what? Never assume you know anybody till you know them.
Exactly.
Another person that has that tendency of you looking down on him a little first time is Roy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, I've mentioned
No,
your name. Go and do
no,
your worst.
waiting. Waiting, you want beat us?
Roy has those tendencies, and that's somebody that I don't know. He's one major person I would always appreciate in America,
Yep.
including Frankie. And I can tell you that there are many people who can say the same thing about Roy.
Exactly.
In fact, you go for parties and everybody's telling you, "Oh, I met this person through Roy. I met this person
Roy,
through Roy."
Roy.
But looking at him the first time, because of
He
how
has
he looks,
that
how he plays,
Jebota.
yes, you will never believe. Roy is one example of who anybody can be.
Remove those glasses. He's deceiving us. Let's know who you are. Remove those your thick lenses. They make them, and in no book, you go to say no book. So
Roy go enter for you know what you know. So people like that, there are many other people like that in life who some people don't know how to show off who they are, and so you need to be careful when you're around those kind. Because you are my brother. Now, who first bring out knife? Now we know say na knife you get to. Because sometimes you can come to a gunfight with a knife, not knowing that your enemy is holding a gun.
Yeah, I know.
Do you get what I'm saying? So you need to be careful, and sometimes just be humble.
That's all. I mean, they say a word is enough for the, I mean, wise is enough for the word, whichever way they say it. Because the truth is, I just wanted to also talk about that and make people understand that, you know, there's nothing wrong with,
Please
there's nothing
enjoy
wrong with
what you do.
whatever you do.
Enjoy, you will miss this time in your life later. Oh, believe me, you will miss. There are people I met on the streets that I wish I knew where they are now, because I didn't know how much I missed that period in my life till I am where I am.
Exactly.
Now. You will miss that period. You will miss sleeping on the floor with people who have nothing. You will miss sipping garri with friends. You will miss not having to prove a point at this point in your life when God finally blesses you, or when things start working for you. Because let me tell you the truth, on this level, friendships are transactional.
Yeah.
On this level, friendships are transactional.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with it. It's another
But
level.
But that's
of
what
growth.
it is. That's
another
what it
level
is.
of growth.
Exactly.
But on this level, friendships are transactional.
Yeah.
But you see, at this point, you can enjoy being yourself. So be the best of here till you get here.
Exactly. You know, like when I moved to this country, one of the first things I did was Amazon delivery, and trust me, I made crazy money driving delivering for Amazon, and it was a time of my life that it was humbling because I met people. I met a lot of people.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, one of the guys that helped me a lot in the US, Pastor Femi of Global Impact Church. Yeah, Global Impact Church. I don't want to mix it up. Met him, and he actually was one that helped me out, introduced me to it. And he was pastoring, he was doing delivery. He was pastoring a church, a branch of a church, and doing delivery. But he's doing pretty well now. He's in IT now.
Yeah.
He's no longer there. But we were doing that. I met people who were working in bank. But guess what? These same people, they don't say it.
Wow.
They don't want to say I'm doing delivery. And also, one of the biggest monies I made was during COVID, driving for Lyft. I don't want to mention because Uncle Sam is looking. IRS, I greet you people. Well done. I'm very loyal, you know. So, I mean, and these are things people don't even know. When I was in Nigeria, the guy that was fixing my car, my mechanic, had built 2 houses, but I was living in an apartment, and he will be calling me sir. I'll be telling him, what's his name again? Benga. My friend, get out. My friend, come and collect this key. This guy had built 2 houses.
Wow.
So, and here was I. Not that I was looking down at him, but every
Something
Nigerian
in you,
has that
yes.
thing of I better pass you because I speak English, because I went to university.
And they pay you.
I'm the one paying you.
Yeah.
But this guy had 2 houses. I didn't have one land. Not one block. Living in an apartment. Sometimes I don't even have money to eat safe.
Can imagine.
You understand? And he had built 2 houses. So what are we trying to say? Let us actually stop looking down on these jobs. like that young girl trying to job shame the guy. Oh, they drive Uber, and I'm like, come on, man.
First, you're even trying to shame someone that has no shame already. So, like, what has that?
Even the Uber guy, which obviously wasn't very dark man, the guy was hiding his face.
For what?
So because society has made him to understand that, or make him believe that you are not
The
supposed
job
to be
he's
doing
doing,
this.
yes.
And if you see the guy, bulky guy, muscle and handsome, so he was like, make all these guys not go see how they do.
I'm rendering a service. You are paying for it.
I told a friend of mine who is a comedian, I'm not going to mention his name. He was calling me, for money. He needs this. I'm like, bro, you have a car, right? He was like, yes. I said, why don't you do Uber in Nigeria? He said, Uber. Baba, that one go hard though. I'm like, why? I mean, I've been sending you money. Do you want to keep doing this hand downs? I said, why is it going to be hard? It was like, what if your clients where you don't do MC event see you? I'm like, can you f your clients and what?
I like America for one reason. It's a leveler.
Nobody has your time.
It's a leveler. As long as you're doing the work and you're getting paid and it's legal, you're good to go. It's a very horrible culture back home
Yeah,
where people.
not just back home, Murphy. Even here amongst our people.
So I think we'll bring it from there.
Yes, we bring it here.
So it's a culture and it's terrible. If there's a way we can stop it, please let's stop it
Yeah,
and
anyway.
enjoy what we are doing till God blesses you with the next big thing and you will not have to be here. And who says you have to be anywhere else? What if this is what is actually giving you what you need to? Now, greed the warriors sometimes.
Okay, this is the last story I'll be telling. I have a lot of stories. So a friend of mine was telling me that he's one of his church members or relative. The guy actually drives Uber.
Mhm.
And this Uber he's been driving, he's bought a house driving Uber, bought the wife a car, has his own car,
Mhm.
like they live in their own house. But the wife is trying to, he's like, go and try do something else now. All this IT, take all these IT classes now. And the guy is like, the things started causing fracas in their marriage to the point that the pastor had to step in. And the pastor is like, what's the problem? I was like, I want him to step up, move up, let him do something else. Look at everybody's doing IT. And the pastor asked her, are you living in a house? He said, yes. Are the bills being
Being
paid?
paid.
She's like, yes. Do you have your own car? Yes. What is the problem, madam? So it's this status thing. He shouldn't be doing this. But my friends are laughing at. You understand?
Your friends
You,
that have
you
nothing.
understand? So we pay so much attention to what people will say. That's why you hear prayer points like we pray in church. I don't want my enemies to say, I've heard one. This I don't want my enemies to laugh at me or say, uh, see this one, see where he's. Those kind of things that make people feel they shouldn't be doing certain things.
Your enemies will laugh at you even if you're rich.
Wow.
That's why they are your enemies.
Mafio.
They are not. They will never support you. Like even if you walked on water now, your enemies will still say you did this scam.
Exactly.
So your enemies will always be your enemies. So actually the fight you're fighting is against you. I think we're the only people who care more about what humans care more about how people feel about them
Yes.
than how they actually feel about themselves.
Exactly. And that's why in our society, that's why we do what we do. We don't do it because we love it or we want to do it. We do it because how people perception, how people see us, how we want people to see us. Most of the times we do things based on how we want people to see us or how people see us. And I've seen this in a lot of ways. I remember going to study theater.
Mhm.
One of my, I'll call him an uncle, you know, I told him, I said, oh, this is what I want to do. And I actually studied theater, not because there was no other thing to do.
Mhm.
I really wanted. So when I was in secondary school, I didn't know I wanted to. I wanted to be in the arts. I've
Mhm.
always loved the arts, acting and all that,
Yeah.
dancing. But I didn't know what to study or what
Mm.
to do to become
Yeah.
that. Then I started writing jam. I was trying to get in. Then I met one guy in the compound we were living. He said he studies theater art in Lasso. I'm like, sorry, what is theater art? He said the theater in there caught my attention. He said, if you want to be an actor, and I was like, that's the word. How do I get in? He said, oh, just go buy the form. It was
Yeah.
a diploma form.
Yeah.
Go buy the form and write the exams, and they take you. And then when I got the admission, I came to meet my uncle. I'm like, I was so excited. And this man, like, he talked down on me.
Ah,
Like, if not because I was already convinced, my heart was in it, I would have gone out. I would have,
actually stopped.
yeah, because there's a perception with this kind of careers. That's something we'll talk about next time, in careers. Any last words? Let's go.
No, actually, it's touching you would say that. I didn't talk to my dad for almost 4 years because I studied fine art
Wow.
because he expected me to be a petrochemical engineer.
Mm.
Uh,
So we share.
we'll talk about that. We'll talk about
We'll talk
that.
about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but the last word I would have for anybody right now is enjoy what you're doing till the next one comes.
Woo.
Enjoy what you're doing
Till the
till the
next
next
one
one
comes.
comes.
And of course, all I'll always say, and I would want to say, and I keep saying, is it can only get better.
Mm.
So until the next episode, stay cool, stay chill. It can only get better.
Peace.
Take care. Please do well to follow, like,
Yeah, so
click,
subscribe.
subscribe,
Yeah.
share, and if you have questions,
Yep.
the email is on the screen. Send us your questions and we'll answer in the comment section,
Mhm.
and let's have some fun.
All right.